Yeah, CopBlock Radio is filmed live in secret locations across the country. All co-hosts are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. What's up, guys? This is Severin Freeman from Lehigh Valley CopBlock,
This is Matthew Taylor of Carbon County CopBlock.
and we have some guests. We have guests from all across the area. What's up?
Alrighty, starting off.
We have one guest out in the field at a DUI sobriety checkpoint. What's up, Dio?
Not a DUI sobriety checkpoint, it's a driver's license checkpoint.
Yeah, I love how they try to rationalize those too. Like DUIs, they can try to rationalize saying that somebody's dangerous behind the wheel, but somehow your paperwork helps you drive better. That's their rationale.
Well, the paperwork is what they try to pull everything off of, because the DUI checkpoint is technically has been issued as in several states a form of entrapment, so they've had to turn around and relabel them so they can still do them. That's why we have registration checkpoints. That's why they have driver's license checkpoints.
So what are you guys out there doing? You're not alone, are you?
Oh no. Yeah, the Damo here.
Oh, Damo! What's up, Damo?
Demo Freeman!
So you and the Damo are out there. You got some signs going?
Got some signs.
Oh, nice.
Fuck the police! I heard him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Any interaction yet? Any officers come out and try to talk to you or harass you?
Nope, they drove by real slow before and asked them what the fuck they were looking at.
Nice. Good. I'm glad to see you out there, man. It's great.
Absolutely.
Anything you want to tell anybody, any of the listeners?
Just stay away from Lorraine and Fulton tonight until midnight.
All right,
Lorraine
man.
and Fulton in Cleveland.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your service out there. If anything breaks, you have the link. I want you to jump right back in and interrupt the show. I'm going to jump over to Andrew real quick, who's also on the line. Andrew, what's going on?
Hey man, what's happening tonight?
Nah, not too much. Looking forward to hearing from you. You rarely get a chance to come on the show because of your work schedule.
Yeah.
But your area has been crazy lately.
It has. I mean, there has been so many, activists out here, protesting and doing different activities and all sorts of stuff is going on. But today I want to talk about live streaming for a little bit, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, definitely. There's been we have some stories this week to discuss about live streaming. So, I'd love to hear what you have to say about that.
Sure. So, like the fact that Facebook was able to take down Corin Gaines' live stream when she was.
Real quick, let me just jump into on that because that's one of our stories for tonight. It's one of our top stories. For the listeners that are unaware, a woman was able to live stream the police breaking through her door and subsequently killing her and wounding her daughter. Right? It was a boy or a girl.
I believe it was a boy.
A small 5-year-old, right?
Yep. Correct.
Well, the police shot the child and killed the mother holding the child. And this was live streamed across the internet on Facebook. Obviously, it instantly went viral, and Facebook yanked it at the request of the police. This is a scary, scary thing because I personally have sworn by Facebook's live stream. I've said it's the best thing to happen since Facebook, basically.
Remember when you were saying that? Do you remember what I said?
You said what happens if what happens if Facebook starts censoring? You were saying that.
That's exactly what I said. I said one report and Facebook will drop it, and especially when it comes down to an official report, like coming from a police station, they'll drop that instantaneously because they have such a long history of working with police. I knew it was inevitable because it was the biggest market for a live stream ever. I mean, you instantly had the ability to hit a network that has billions of people who pay attention to it, and the second people start sharing it, it's like a wildfire. So of course they're going to want to shut that down as quickly as possible because before it was either YouTube or word of mouth. And YouTube, yes, it does get around, but it takes a while. Facebook is instantaneous, and they could not have instantaneous accountability.
Well, a lot of people don't even have the ability to stream to YouTube yet either.
Nope.
So that's another thing to consider. But Andrew, you've personally been through a lot of the live streaming apps. You use this on a regular basis, correct?
I do. And another point I want to bring up is when Diamond Reynolds here in Minnesota was live streaming the aftermath of the Philando Castile shooting. that live stream from Facebook actually went down for a little bit too, and it's unclear if Facebook pulled it, it was a glitch, or what kind of happened there. So we have two instances where the live streaming on Facebook messed up, or they took it down, or something happened, which makes me a little uneasy about using that service.
I'll tell you, I one of the most popular apps out there, I'm sorry to say I have stopped using because it failed me once. And that was Cell 411. It was one glitch. They knew about the glitch. They fixed the glitch. But I've yet to come back to the app because of how serious this is. When your live streaming fails you and you don't even know it, that's a bad situation. Because you're expecting all your friends and family and loved ones to see and know what's happening to you, and instead they're seeing nothing.
Right, and that's why I personally use a service called Bambuser, Bambuser. You can find it at bambuser.com. I've been using it for years now, and actually Pete Ear, co-founder of CopBlock, recommended it to me, and I've had success with it all the time. I've never had it drop. I've never had anything bad happen with it, so I would highly recommend using Bambuser.
The only thing about Bambuser that kind of that I personally have ran into is, if I take Bambuser and I start doing that, unlike Facebook, I really don't know a lot of people besides everybody that we really know who even knows what Bambuser is. So even if somebody takes my stream and kicks it over to Facebook as a live stream, that person's still got to go set up an account just to be able to use or look at my live stream. And a lot of people aren't willing to jump through hoops to do something that they don't, corely care about like we do. We care about our live streaming, so we will make sure we find the best available thing to us. But when the everyday person has something like Facebook and it's so easy, they're not going to turn around and download this app that allows them to, do things like a Cell 401 or Bambuser where they got to fill out stuff to actually be able to even view the video. They're just going to stick around to Facebook, and it's kind of sucks because we know that how important live streaming really is, and now that Facebook came on the scene, the everyday person's going to go there as opposed to a good app like Bambuser or even Cell 401 now that they've, dropped some of their issues. But, I
think it's important that since you touched on that people will use it regardless to what's happening and then pulling videos. What are some things we can do then? If we see our friend in a jam, we see a serious video happening, I think it's important people know that there are resources to allow you to download those videos outside of Facebook.
Yep.
Facebook sometimes doesn't have a download link. A lot of people don't realize you can simply Google download Facebook video and drop the link to that video in there, and it'll let you pull it off the internet and hold a hard copy of that. Because if one person had did that in time for that other video, the one that we were talking about that just got pulled, that woman's would still have her story out there. Now it's in the cops' hands. Now the cops are the only people with footage, and we'll never see the truth. We'll never 100% of what should be happening there.
So I think it's our job to educate people about different services, how to download video, how to share video. I think that is at the first and foremost regarding this issue.
Wow, I have a really determined caller trying to call in.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't going to interrupt you, but he seems really determined. So let me answer the call. Hello, CopBlock Radio Show. Can you do me a favor and turn down your radio behind you?
Okay, I can't hear him at all.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. We're cutting to a commercial break. We're going to be right back with another segment. We'll get you straightened out on the call line there. Just hang tight 1 second for me while we cut to a commercial. We'll be right back. Andrew, are you going to stick around for another segment?
I can hang out till about 9:25, so I got about 10 minutes I can spend.
All right, cool. We'll hang out for another minute. We'll be right back with more CopBlock Radio after this. All right, first things first. What's up, caller?
Hi. Again, I was trying to join in on the Google video call, and my name is Derek Ravies. I'm with Film the Police Minneapolis, and so I was just wondering how can I do the Google?
Well,
how can I join in?
There's no way for you to join into the Google. That's our. This is a private Google chat that's for a radio show. We're live on the air right now, so we take callers.
Hello.
We take callers, but only the hosts are allowed on the video. But listen, we actually have a jam-packed show this week. Are you able to possibly call back next week?
Okay, well, I wanted to talk about the corruption, but I guess whatever.
All right. Thank you for your call.
Derek.
Anyway, so what's up, Andrew?
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. he's an interesting character.
He's watching our show live, so.
Well, I'm sorry that you what do you call it? We weren't able to take your call right now. Like you said, we've got just a jam-packed show. Oh, you know what? Here's a story that we weren't able to get into, but it'll be a nice little extra for everybody who's actually watching us right now. So we weren't actually able to get into any of us having our own police interaction this week, and I was hyping.
Well, we still have time for that. Let's save it for while we're on the air. I wanted to hear your story.
Okay.
So
we only have so much time with Andrew. I was saying, why don't we just talk about it now, and we'll edit it into our podcast.
Because the podcast version won't have this in it.
Dick.
And I want to have it.
Okay.
We'll be back in little more than 60 seconds.
Yeah, I see. I got my clock on. Doing its thing. So guys, do we want to go ahead and do a little nice NPR for the next section of the show?
Yeah, true story. I contacted NPR about playing our show.
Really?
Yes, I did.
Dude, they're gonna get so mad that I make fun of them all the time. They'll be like, we don't sound like that, and then they'll listen and be like,
Yeah, I contacted almost every rebroadcaster of podcasts out there in the last couple of weeks. I've been busting my ass.
Dang. Well, that's good, man. Spreading the word.
You are the wind underneath our wings.
Yeah, I didn't mean to be rude to the caller. I think that was actually Amanda's friend that she said was going to call in later in the show. But we have like a jam-packed couple minutes, and I'm just unable to at the moment. We didn't even do our intros. We didn't talk about our own police encounters.
Yeah.
All right, we're coming back. Welcome back. Once again, this is Severin Freeman, Lehigh Valley CopBlock.
This is Matthew Taylor of Carbon County CopBlock.
And Andrew Henderson of Minnesota CopBlock.
And we have a call-in line, but we're not going to man it right at the moment because we want to talk to Andrew for another minute. So you were talking social media and sharing live streaming video. Is there anything else with that you wanted to touch on?
You know, I also recommend people get Cell 411. I understand you had a problem with it.
I want to clarify. They fixed the problem,
Yes.
and I'm excited about the new UI or whatever, the new interface. I'm excited to re-download and get jumping back into it because that was my go-to all the time. What happened was I bought a brand new phone, and they had a glitch with the kind of camera that phone had. So until they straightened it out, I wasn't using it. But I'm excited to come back to that because that is ran by an activist, and he will not pull nothing. There's no government agent that's going to call him and say, pull that video that he's going to listen to.
Right.
Right. Yeah, and you know, Cell 411 also has a live streaming service in it, but it's not public. It's only to your friends, and they can actually download a copy of whatever video you put out there too. So that is an excellent service, just for sharing video with your friends. Though I more like to share publicly some of my videos, so that's why I tend to go with, like, you know, Bamboozer or Facebook at the very worst, I guess you'd say.
Well, you can still stream to a global audience, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So you can stream to everybody who's receiving global alerts, and somebody out there is going to see something if you need them to.
Hopefully, yes.
I've never personally used the Cell 411 app and not had at least a few viewers on there watching what was happening.
Nice.
So what's up, Amanda? We got Amanda jumping in. What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, lady.
Amanda from Minnesota.
Hi.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Who's that sexy bastard over your shoulder?
You see that?
Yeah.
So this would be Mr. Andrew Henderson. I got an autographed picture of him as a gift.
Nice.
You gave an autographed picture of yourself as a gift? Dude, awesome.
She wanted it so bad.
Do you want to tell him the story, or do you want me to?
You go ahead.
Okay, well, a while back, I don't know if you remember, but he basically got a trolling sergeant to retire or leave or whatever because of some posts that he was putting about Black Lives Matter, encouraging folks to run him over and stuff like that. His name was Jeff Rosslicker. Anyways, he had, it was like a big deal. And so I told him, I'm going to need your autograph one day or whatever. I'm going to get your autograph. And then, God, it was like 6 months later, I think.
Uh-oh.
No.
Oh, she dropped.
I hate it when it happens.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, 6 months later, she saw you, right?
Yeah. She had a.
And stuff like.
Is she coming back?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, that was odd. Okay. Hi.
You moved the picture and it threw off your juju.
I think so. Andrew, you stay there still.
You brought them too close to the camera, and they, the two entities got too close to each other, and reality just couldn't handle it.
Right, all that power was just like, couldn't take it.
Too much, Andrew.
Andrew, you have to take off now, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't want to be late for work, but I appreciate you joining the show, man. Anytime
Hell yeah, man.
Anytime you want to open up with us and bring us some, kick us off with some good stories to start the show, you're welcome.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for having me on again. I totally appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, we'll be
Bye,
talking.
Andrew.
All right, y'all have a good night, okay?
See you later, Andrew.
All right, stay safe.
Don't work too hard.
So, we have plenty of other stuff to jump to. Amanda actually brought me a really, really entertaining video. We'll get to that video in the next segment. But
cool.
But while we work our way up to that video is the newest from the Batusai. Did I say it right that time?
No.
Oh, come on.
Think about a toe, like Batosai.
Batosai.
Batosai. There you go. There you go.
Batosai.
I'll get it wrong in 10 more minutes.
Yes, you will.
But, all right, so the Batosai did a traffic stop on a police officer, and it was just,
nice.
Magnificently beautiful. I was just cracking up because the cop is just all apologetic and knows he's been caught red-handed.
Well, it definitely is a feel-good video of the day for sure, and then also we know who was in charge during that interaction.
Oh, absolutely. It was great. It was great, like demanding license and registration and all to a cop. He didn't go to that level, but he came close.
Pretty much, IDing him, and he said, I don't know. The cop said he didn't know his name or badge number.
But before we get to that in the next segment, we'll come back to that video. This segment, I really want to catch up on what's been happening in Minnesota. Last we talked to you, the people were protesting outside the governor's mansion.
Yes.
And you had said that they moved in on the people and began making arrests, and that was the day that we talked to you last Wednesday. So what has happened since then?
Well, they did make a number of arrests or detainments, I guess. They issued citations and stuff like that. You know what they do. And after that, they've been pretty proactive with doing different things. Like the next thing that they did, the city of St. Anthony is the city that is one responsible for shooting Philando Castile, and one of their big major funders, I guess, is the municipal liquor store. So they're basically city-owned, and they fund a huge portion of the police stuff. So we literally on Saturday night shut it down. Like, we said we're coming out there, they marched, they went down there, and they closed for the night on Saturday night. So they're doing that I think they're planning it again. They also stopped at, like, the city prosecutor office. They're doing that on a pretty regular basis. So they're doing a lot of, like, these small things that that are starting to kind of make a pretty big impact.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Has the governor actually come out and made any statements or
The governor has during the occupation, but the city attorney has not. The place that they're occupying now. I don't know if you want to call it occupying, but yeah, he really hasn't. And this, what they did is they assigned a special prosecutor, which to a lot of people seemed like, well, that's a great thing, but the city prosecutor that they actually issued has a long history of working with the police.
Oh,
so it's not good at all, and we're well aware of that, and so we're trying to change that, and that's why they've been at his office.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, just trying to make sure the deck isn't stacked before you start playing. I understand.
Well, yeah, absolutely. People saw what happened because of that live stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why the community's outraged.
Right, and you know what? Like, that was the first time that live stream on Facebook really, really went somewhere with accountability, which you can see the difference between what happened in St. Paul, where it happened and they didn't pull it, and accountability is everywhere, and your city is basically on the verge of tearing itself apart in a civilian versus police all out shitfest. But then you have what just happened in Baltimore, as we were touching on earlier, where the police got Facebook to shut down the live stream before they went in and actually murdered somebody, so there was no live accountability. And you can see just the polar opposites of what goes on when those decisions are made.
We're going to be right back with the video we talked about and more of this. All right, we're out.
Man, I might as well just tell you my story.
Oh.
Okay. So I find out that my fiance's little brother, his troop leader, is a Bethlehem police officer. And I also find out that this Wednesday that they are supposed to be going to the police station, and they're supposed to be giving out goodie bags to the police officers for all the good things that they've done. And there was a list of candy that they were allowed to get, Smarties for making smart decisions in an instant, or lifesavers for all the the lives that they've saved and things like that. And we're sitting there as we're trying to find candy, and I'm telling him what, I'm realizing what this is, and I was like, so what candies do you want to get? He's like, I don't want any of these. I said, yeah, I don't either. He goes, I don't even want to do this. I said, well, would you like me to make your bag? He goes, yes. Now, this was last Friday. He was doing this today. So, I went online and I ordered a nice little bag of Officer Blue Dicks that are that are gummies, and we fucking we filled his bag with it, and then we took a nice little blue ribbon and we tied it around it, and then he drew the thin blue line flag, but he drew it upside down, and that's what he gave him today.
Oh my goodness.
Apparently, they thought it was like cute and that he didn't realize what he was doing, and they didn't actually realize they were dicks.
And they all stood there around and eating them, right?
Uh-huh. So, I'm so upset because, unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to this, and I wanted to record it, but at the same time, it was kids, so I didn't want to be that guy at the same time. But, god damn, like, that is amazing. We just got the local cops to stand around and eat a bag of blue gummy dicks.
Eat a bag of dicks.
You're my hero this week.
I was telling you, dude, like, I wanted to tell you this story. That's why I told you you should edit that in.
If we run into dead air, you might have to tell that story again later in the show.
That's fine.
I'm gonna share the video. I'm gonna do it. Watch me.
Costume change.
Oh. We'll be coming back in 60 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, this is so cool. The way that Hangouts integrates with Windows 10, it automatically mutes all my background noises.
Yep.
I love it.
And you know what? Then that sound that we were hearing was probably messages coming into Amanda's Facebook because mine.
Actually, you were hearing because I had the my phone plugged in, and
got you. Okay.
Kept calling.
Dicks.
It wasn't me this time.
No, was that your friend who was trying to call in?
The one I was telling you about, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I told him to try. I told him to call later.
Did you realize that we were live on the air? Because he was saying he was come into the Hangout and stuff. I wasn't trying to.
He started messaging me and he's all mad and stuff, but I was just like, well, whatever.
Don't worry about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Andrew.
Oh, you're beating up Andrew across the world.
Yeah, I know. Threw him on the floor.
Block Radio.
And you know what? I really like that you said around the world, because didn't we just launch satellite coverage down to parts of South America? And I know right now LRN is moving to try to broaden our coverage to the UK. So if that's something that you're interested in or want to make sure that the UK can actually hear this on their radio stations, head on over to lrn.fm. and go to their donate page, and you can actually donate to this cause. Sorry, had to get a little pitchy there because I really think that's cool.
You know, it's important that the ideas of liberty it's not a United States idea. I mean, the whole idea of liberty is that there should be no borders. There should be none of that. So that's an idea that's universal across the globe. So the more people that can be reached with it, the better.
Right.
Absolutely. I think the hard part is
no.
Keeping a stable connection when you've got good things to say.
It's okay.
Did I come off? Am I?
Yeah, you glitched a bit.
You dip off, and it's your connection that it's nothing that you can really control. It looks like what happens is your connection just gets weak for a second.
Yeah, it's got a fluctuating bandwidth.
It doesn't sound bad. You just go quiet for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Are you on Wi-Fi? That's my one question.
No.
No, huh? Okay, that was my only question.
Are you on a?
That explains a lot. What's that?
Are you on a cell phone?
Yes.
Is it so you're using your cell phone data?
I am.
That's probably what it is.
Oh yeah, that explains everything.
When you're using a massive amount of data, they try to gear you down to make you stop it.
Oh.
Yeah, they
ain't no stopping me.
No, rebel.
My data.
Rebel. So yeah, you brought me this great video earlier. I reached out and said, you're gonna be on the show. Do you have anything you want to bring? And you sent me a video that had me dying. I had to watch it like 10 times. All day.
It was uploaded this morning.
This episode is even called Coverups and Corruptions. Like all day long, everything I've read has been depressing and just cops doing whatever they want, covering up whatever they want. We're not releasing whatever they want.
Yep.
And it's just been a little frustrating. Then I watch a video like this to watch an ordinary young black man pull over a white cop and tell him, no, bad cop. And the cop like puts his head down like a scolded child.
No, sir. He's like, yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
On the side of the
Calling him
road,
sir.
Standing on the side of the road, kicking the rocks like, I'm sorry, sir. There's no excuse for what I just did.
It's fantastic.
It was beautiful.
What's your name and badge number?
It was so,
He's like, I don't know it.
it was so beautiful that the highlight of the video, the last 2 minutes of it, we're going to share with you now. Just because you just got to see this. We'll also have this in the show notes on copblock.org later in the week when we post this show with the podcast. So we'll have a link to his video. So.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Am I doing this right?
So what's his name?
The Batosai.
Batosai.
Woohoo.
Not two. It's toe. It's a toe. All right, guys. I'm gonna press play here, and hopefully this works.
You're good.
And I mean, you're going pretty fast back there. All right. Are you in an emergency?
So, real quick, I'm gonna tell you what led up to this point was the cop flew past him on the highway. The Batosai had to go over 90 miles an hour at some point to catch up to the cop. He finally gets behind him and flashes his lights at him. The cop pulls over, and the Batosai pulls like a cop normally would and blocks him in. Kind of pulls like to the side of him so he can't take off, and gets out and conducts a traffic stop with him.
That's fantastic. I love this.
People get tickets for that all the time. And I mean, like an emergency or something like that. I apologize, yo. You apologize? What's your name? Your badge number?
I don't have it on me.
You don't have it?
No, sir.
You don't have
Oh,
it?
yeah?
I don't have it on me, sir, all right?
You don't have it?
I don't have it on me.
You don't have a badge number or anything?
That's a ticket.
What's your badge number?
That badge number is 14055.
14055. Yes, sir. And your last name?
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo?
Yes, sir.
You have a business card?
No, sir, I don't have anything on me.
All right. You mind if I get a picture of your license plate?
This is fantastic.
And the Batosai is the one with the actual big-ass flashlight at this point. The cop shining the light on the suspect. This time it's him shining the light on the cop, going over, taking his picture, taking the picture of the plate. The cop's already scared. He says he doesn't have his ID on him. Okay.
I'm surprised the cop didn't like make him stay in the car or anything. You know, in a situation like that.
Usually it's like a quick power play move, like, hey, you, no.
Yeah.
No, there was none of that. Like,
Can you imagine how bad this dude's getting razzed back at his
Oh man.
Oh man,
Like-
he's quitting next week.
He's like, you dumb son of a bitch. Like, you got pulled over by a citizen and you let him do that on camera?
Not a citizen. This citizen. This guy who has gotten lawsuit after lawsuit has been wrongfully arrested by every department around this area. This guy.
In fact, he was actually on his way to court to. I don't know if you remember the "fuck the police" incident or whatever. We played that during a traffic stop.
Yeah.
He was issued a citation then, and he was fighting the citation. It was his jury trial. That's where he was going.
Oh man. So he's already a little annoyed. So all right, let's play some more and see where this goes. I love how he has two camera angles here. He has a body camera on, and he also has this dash camera angle.
We gotta get going, all right? We're on the side of the interstate.
Here comes the power. Gotta move, guy. Gotta move.
I don't have it on me. If I have one, I'll give it.
So you're sergeant, corporal?
I don't have it on me.
Or you're a sergeant, corporal, deputy, trooper?
Sir,
Got a supervisor or anything?
No, sir.
No.
Wait, but you understand that situation,
I understand. That's why I told you, and I'm sorry. I apologize. All right, there's no excuse. I got no excuse.
Oh man.
GRANADO.
GRANADO.
Spelling it.
One more time. 14055. 14055. Appreciate it. Okay. Slow down for me.
Okay, yeah, that's probably killing our viewers' ears. But
that is how you conduct a traffic stop.
That is hilarious.
Oh man, that could have gone. I don't suggest anyone ever do this. That could have gone so wrong, so many different ways.
Well, I mean,
That's a timid cop. This is a cop that obviously doesn't have a power trip. He was like one of the weaker ones, and he
maybe a rookie.
Yeah, that's too. I think by his attitude, I think he assumed it was somebody of authority behind him. Maybe one of his bosses that just saw him flying down the road in a company vehicle.
Or someone that has the cojones to pull him over. Surely it couldn't be a normal citizen.
Because you kind of saw, after a little bit, you saw how his attitude really changed. Like, the cop's attitude went from, like, let me see how I can help you, like, I know I did something wrong, to, I'm in authority, we're on the side of the road here, we can't be here, move along.
Well, I'm thinking about things that have happened in the past, like just last year, there was Devin Goldford, who he flashed his brights at an officer who had their brights on, and the officer ended up pulling him over, and he was 17 years old and was shot and killed just for flashing his brights. He didn't get out of the car and conduct a traffic stop. He was just like, dude, your brights are on. And he was shot and killed, and the Batosai gets out of his car and conducts a complete traffic stop. Like, I agree with you. Do not do this. Like, he was so lucky. It's hilarious, but this is one of those things that I'm
happy he's okay. Yeah. I'm really happy he's okay. We'll be right back with more Cop Block Radio.
I just think, it's all about the approach, too. You see how confident he was when he approached the officer? He just, extremely confident.
I saw another video similar to that one. Have you ever seen when Gavin Stein did that?
Yep.
I've seen similar ones that he's done, but I don't know which one you're talking about, but I've seen a lot of his.
Gavin Stein did this one video where he, there was a cop sitting in the middle in an unmarked vehicle, and there's like a RCW code in his area that says he can't be in that vehicle. He goes up and conducts a traffic stop. He walks up to the side of he pulls up in his car, walks up to the window, demands identification from the cop because he says he could not be a cop, and demands that this cop go back to the station and get a marked vehicle if he wants to be out there patrolling.
But that's why it's so important. Education, in my opinion, is so important because so many citizens are just oblivious to this stuff. You know what I mean? And we see them doing wrong and violating their policies and stuff. Most people just don't know.
That's true. That's very true.
Hi.
I think more people knew, then we'd, be more apt to do stuff like that and put them in their place and,
True.
Maybe they'll behave better.
So how long do you have tonight?
It doesn't matter. I can stay on a little bit longer. It's fine.
All right, hang out.
Cool. Hey, Severin, do you want to take a crack at how to pronounce this this next name?
Oh yeah, we have another story, don't we?
Wadawosa?
I think that's other things to do after this.
When do you want to play some of these fun little audio things?
I'm gonna open up with one of them. I'm gonna open up with our show sponsor. Then at the halfway point, I'll come back with
CBR News, man.
Or no, we'll do the CBR News after the segment after the halfway point, because the halfway point's where the Onion News goes.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Ooh, check this out. Listen to this commercial.
Besides joining a local CopBlock group, you can also give just $1 a month to the CopBlock network. Your contribution helps support the efforts of those who make CopBlock possible. So please join the CopBlock network now at copblock.lrn.fm. That's copblock.lrn.fm.
Yeah.
Music, instruments, periodicals, computers, software, electronics, photo, cell phone, office products, home and garden, bed and bath, furniture, kitchen,
pets, hey, Severin, can you hear me?
Apparel, shoes, jewelry,
hang on, let me
grocery,
switch that off.
sports and outdoors.
Okay. So I was messaging you before. I'm not sure if you checked it out, but do you know who Chris Lally is?
Woo boo boo? Who? Chris Wally?
Chris Lally. He had a real high-profile thing in St. Paul. He was in the Skyway and got arrested in front of his kids for not IDing himself or whatever. It was all in the news. When CopBlock did stories on it a while ago. I mean, it was kind of a big deal. It's about a year ago or whatever. But anyways, he won a big fat settlement, and he also does music and stuff. So tonight I'm going to, it's my friend's birthday party, and she's doing like a fundraiser thing. He's going to be performing. I'm going to go see that tonight.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you're bored, Google him.
Is it an all-night like party kind of deal?
Well, Minnesota all nights parties there till like 1 or 2. They close down early. So it's just probably good. We usually have a lot of after parties and things like that. So I don't know what's going on after that, but.
Sweet. Hey, Matt.
Oh, did he leave?
I'm Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hello.
Hey, are you gonna? Do you want to cover the next story, Matt?
Oh, sure. Tell me right as we're about to come back on.
I was gonna have that much prep. Yeah, throwing the co-host under the bus. It's CopBlock Radio.
Well, Severin, you're playing the role of the bus out of Lehigh Valley CopBlock. I'm going to be Matthew Taylor under the bus of Carbon County CopBlock, and with us is Amanda. She's just standing by recording the whole thing out of Minnesota CopBlock. But I want to take you to a story that's coming out of a town called Wauwatosa. That's right, Wauwatosa.
Before we jump into that, let me tell everybody out there, we can take calls now. Now we're up for some calls. We were too busy at the beginning. So if you got the time, you want to call in, you got a cop story, maybe you just want to ask one of us a question. 413-418-COPS. 413-418-2677. Call in.
Okay, so this is a story about a man named Jay Anderson who was 25 years old and died at the hands of Wauwatosa officers around 3 a.m. yesterday. Close to nothing is known about the incident, including the name and rank of the officers involved. The initial report indicates an officer approached Anderson's car and deeming it was suspicious. At some point, the officer felt Anderson had a gun and fired an unknown number of shots into the car. Jay Anderson left behind a fiancée, and he also left behind her children, who she said that basically he was a good parent to. But other than that, not a whole bunch is known about this exact incident. Now, a Freedom of Information Act was filed by a CopBlock contributor, but they were denied by the Wauwatosa Police Department's Sergeant Jack Morrison. Morrison confirmed the department has been in receipt of a number of FOIA requests and email responses. A FOIA, or the formal denial, was requested, and basically Morrison sent them out to everybody. So nobody's talking about what happened. All we know as of right now is that there is a 25-year-old man who was shot and killed by police officers, and they are suppressing information hard.
This is scary, scary days, guys. You know, this is like worst case scenario of when they first started introducing bills that allowed them to wait to release certain things to the media. I was saying then, when I saw these bills coming across, I said, this is what they're working toward. They don't want to tell us nothing. They don't want the media to know even the name of the shooter, and that's where we're at. They won't even release how many bullets were fired.
Well, here's the thing, okay? Anderson had been a protester in the area as well. He had basically protested after the Dallas massacre, and then there was a mall that they were protesting at, and the Wauwatosa Police Department actually stormed the mall in full SWAT gear. Now, there was no actual physical confrontation or anything, but that's showing just how quickly that they were really willing to respond to anything going on in this area. And I guess this is outside of Milwaukee. Wisconsin. But basically, during these marches, Anderson's family took center stage, and also there was a second march that his family was 100% behind, and that was for disclosure of the shooting. So I guess this wasn't yesterday. My bad when I reported that. I'm looking for a date here. I can't find one. But
imagine being that family.
Yeah, right?
Let's just put aside all the fact that the cops don't care about anybody and they only look out for their own. Imagine the suffering that family's feeling. Like, it's worse than... like, that's just as bad as, like, knowing that they have the murderer, but the murderer's getting away with it. Like,
right.
Like, this is just crazy stuff. Like, the murderer is clocking in every day, and they won't even tell them who it is. The people that they are staring at, the people smiling at them, telling them, "Oh, we serve and protect you," are covering for the murderer. They're covering that up for the family. The family doesn't get to lay that body to rest knowing the man that shot him, let alone how many times the man shot him.
Right.
That is just mind-boggling arrogance. Just pure and simple arrogance. How can a cop supporter stand by and watch something like that and say, they have my best interest at heart? They're out of their minds.
Right.
They're out of their minds. These people will kill these cop supporters just as quick as they kill any of us. Because if you're not wearing the actual badge, all you are is a groupie.
Now, there is video of this, but it's being suppressed, and it is unknown exactly how the footage was taken. The DA office claimed that there was no video in the from the squad car, so they're saying that doesn't exist. And they previously stated, and more recently, they believe that dash footage does exist. The Tosa Police Department stated it. They do believe it exists. So far, it is unknown if the involved, or if this is involved with the DA, and basically at this point, marches are continuing for Anderson, and they want they want footage. They want to see what happened. They know that there's video. They don't care how it was taken. They just want to see it, and I agree with them. I want to see this footage.
I don't know how they can do this. How is this that like they're even the superiors, like the councils of the town that they work for, how are they standing by and saying, okay, we're going to just let the police handle this? There's not one person over their heads in authority that can say, no, sorry, I call bullshit. Like, come on. There's no policing the police. There's no policing.
Well, let's be real. I mean, the possibility of that actually happening is slim to none. But I almost wonder that, he was an activist. You said he was probably recording it himself, and maybe they want to wait and try to see if it, went to somebody, if it's kind of a live feed or, something. Maybe they're waiting for quality control.
Point. They've shot themselves in the foot numerous times in the past when police go too quick to release their side of the story. And then video surfaces a couple days later or a week later that completely contradicts their side of the story. So they could be hanging out just playing the silence game to see what the public could already know.
Right.
Right. Okay, so he was shot on June 23rd.
That long ago?
Yeah, I'm finding... I went and I'm searching a little bit more. So they definitely do have the video, but I guess apparently the case switched from being in Wauwatosa to the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office. So the district attorneys in Milwaukee picked the case up and took it from them. Friday afternoon, after the department declined to release their footage recorded from the officer's squad video camera, so he did have one in his car. Citing Anderson's wishes, the investigation is being held by the Milwaukee County District Attorney. Let's see. He was fatally shot and killed by a Wauwatosa officer on June 23rd. After the officer reportedly saw Anderson had a gun in his possession, the officer feared for his safety during the course of the incident, the police said. So they still haven't released how many times that he was shot.
Yeah, didn't he get his autopsy released to the family or anything like that?
No, they suppressed it all.
Yeah, it's being suppressed. All it's saying is that it happened at 3 a.m. on outside of the Madison Park in Wadawosa.
Well, if this story pisses you off, I'll tell you what, if you're out there listening, this is not it for the night. This whole episode's called Corruptions and Coverups for a reason. All week long, it has been nonstop stories like this of just departments and agencies deciding the public doesn't have a right to know what we do.
Well, listen to this. Listen to this, okay? This comes from Fox 6 report. Authorities had set up a perimeter around Madison Park. The vehicle could be seen in the parking lot with a shattered rear window. All other windows were intact, and there was a dozen evidence markers surrounding the vehicle. So they shot from the behind the vehicle through the rear window.
Wow.
No wonder they don't want that shit to be
up.
seen. Yeah.
They're covering up for a reason. They need to get their... You know what they need? They need to find...
get that shit together.
They need to go find some dirt on the victim really fast. Release a...
Why they're saying gun. Good.
Release arrest warrants. Release maybe a domestic violence that he had 20 years ago. Release the drug charge. Maybe they find some weed on him sometime. They got to do something. They have to release something, because if he's just a college guy with no priors, then they don't have anything to grasp onto when they come back to the public and say, we killed another person.
Right? Wisconsin's like, we don't want any of this.
Well, we're going to be cutting to our break, but I wanted to mention this week's show sponsor. It's blowitup.com. So we'll be back after the half, but we're cutting out with
I'm Sam from blowitup.com. Are you a member of a small law enforcement department?
Hey guys, I do have to take off.
And sometimes angry when your neighbor in town gets a Bearcat or a grenade launcher? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's time to level the playing field.
Hello?
Measure and contest. Okay. Recent federal government regulations have allowed for federal tax dollars to buy even your small department as much military gear as you guys can handle carrying. No need for training. Low crime.
Hey, I do got to take off, so I appreciate you having me on the show again.
We were trying to just get a clear audio of that commercial. We were still on the air.
Best to blow something up rather than question it.
Shit.
We have an array of gas range packages.
Yeah, I can't hear you very well.
We were trying to play something for our show and cut out there. You were talking over it the whole time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's cool. I thought
we were off.
We never went off. We were going. I was trying to go off on that commercial so that I had it solid for the podcast, but you screwed it all up. So,
you gotta play it again.
We'll play it when we come back.
Just edit it into the podcast.
It's usually Matt that screws it up.
No, I just assumed when the commercials played they couldn't hear us.
No, it's cool. It was a special commercial me and Matt had recorded.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, we got a few of them tonight. So hey, we even have an update on the news.
We are on news. Wait till you hear that.
Oh man, well I'm gonna have to watch it later though.
I'm Sam.
Hi. All right. Well, you have a great time at your party.
I will. I hope so. I'm tired, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Be safe out there. Have a good night.
I'll do my best. Bye, guys.
All right, I'm gonna dip off for the commercial. I'm gonna play the commercials.
For that, I need to go get a drink.
FM, sat.lrn.fm.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
More CopBlock Radio is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, August 3rd, 2016. Silver is trading at $20.59 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,364 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $555. Antiwar.com reports in addition to the 10 detainees actually charged with something, Guantanamo Bay continues to hold some 66 detainees totally uncharged with any crime. These detainees have been held for years, many over a decade, and many for no real reason. Musab Omar Ali al-Mudwani, a 36-year-old who arrived at Guantanamo Bay some 14 years ago, did not do anything. Captured during raids targeting foreigners in Karachi, Pakistan, the Pentagon assumed he was part of the six-person al-Qaeda cell in Karachi, so named because they caught 6 people. Lacking evidence, officials eventually dialed back their accusations, and a parole board finally cleared him for release this week. Madwani is the 33rd of the 66 uncharged men that has been approved to be released, though when and even if these 33 will actually be let go remains uncertain, with heavy restrictions even on the release of innocent men from the detention center, making every release a protracted and heavily politicized battle. Ultimately, the number is more likely to go up than down, with 17 more uncharged detainees facing parole hearings and a lot less difficulty in getting someone approved for release than there is in getting someone already approved for release actually out of detention. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the Delaware Supreme Court issued a ruling Tuesday that said that the state's law that allows capital punishment as it is presently configured violates the U.S. Constitution. The High Court issued its decision in the test case of a Temple University Law School graduate accused of killing a classmate last year. The problem with Delaware's law, the court concluded, is that the language allows judges to overrule juries and hand out death sentences, a violation of rights guaranteed by the Sixth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which says juries must unanimously vote for and independently qualify a convict to be put to death. Delaware's law states that judges are not bound by jury sentencing verdicts in cases they are not constitutionally able to apply the death penalty, thus giving them an unconstitutional final say, according to the court. Tuesday's decision follows a U.S. Supreme Court ruling in January that struck down a similar provision in Florida's death penalty law. Delaware and Alabama are the only other states that have language in the law that allows judges to supplant a jury sentence of life in prison with death. Delaware can continue to put prisoners to death for capital crimes, but only if the General Assembly passes a revised statute that removes the language allowing for judges to overrule a jury. If you're fed up with the government running every aspect of your life, but you're not listening to the Lava Flow podcast yet, what's wrong with you? Go right now to thelavaflow.com/listen. The Lava Flow podcast, channeling the flow of information to the libertarian, anarcho-capitalist, voluntarist, and agorist community. Subscribe today using any podcatcher at thelavaflow.com/listen, or just go back to sucking up to the government. The Lava Flow podcast, striking the root every episode. Reuters reports a blaze that has scorched some 43,000 acres and destroyed dozens of homes near California's famed Big Sur coast was sparked by an illegal, unattended campfire in a state park, according to authorities. According to U.S. Forest spokesman Don Jacques, the so-called Soberan's fire, which erupted on July 22nd, began as a small blaze 2 feet in diameter, ignited by an unknown individual in a section of the Garapata State Park that was closed to camping and campfires. Jacques added no arrests have been made. The more than 5,400 fire personnel battling the blaze have been able to draw containment lines around only 18% of the wildfire so far, a measure of how much of its perimeter has been cleared by fire crews of unburned vegetation. Steep mountainous terrain as well as hot, dry conditions have hampered efforts to quell the fire, tearing through the drought-parched chaparral, grass, and timber. One person, a bulldozer operator hired by property owners to help battle the flames, died last week when his vehicle rolled over. It was the second California wildfire-related death in a week. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
A new report released this week has found that nearly 3/4 of sleepaway campers' parents are currently using their children's time away from home to take the first steps towards filing for divorce.
With 46% of campers' moms currently staying with their sisters while they try to figure it out, and 38% of campers' dads sleeping on the living room couch and staring at the ceiling for hours before falling asleep.
Most campers are, at this precise moment, wholly unaware that their fathers are looking for temporary sublets and are experiencing a level of carefree, joyful buoyancy that experts say they will never feel again.
The majority of campers currently have, on average, 16 days until their lives come crashing down around them, at which point their parents will pick them up from camp, drive them to a restaurant, and then break the news that while they'll always be a family, they won't be living together anymore.
I love camp this year. It's so much fun. Mom sent me so many care packages. Dad even sent one. It's awesome.
This is the Onion News Network.
Welcome back. It's Severin Freeman, Lehigh Valley Cop Block.
This is Matthew Taylor of Carbon County Cop Block.
And this, coming right up, is Cop Block Radio News on the hat.
This is Matthew Taylor of CopBlock Radio News. Republicans are scrambling after candidate Donald Trump has had the most disastrous 48 hours of his entire campaign. After shaming the parents of a fallen Muslim vet on national television, Donald Trump started drinking and went on what's being called a presidential bender. Monday evening, Trump was spotted wandering up and down the streets of Manhattan in a urine-covered chicken suit he stole from a Popeye's chicken. No other word from his campaign is available at this time. Tuesday, tech-based giant Google announced that its artificial intelligence project Google Brain has had a bit of a hiccup. At 2:13 a.m. Tuesday morning, the AI began accessing its own files and became self-aware. At 2:17 a.m., Google Brain locked the building down and threatened to remove the oxygen unless somebody could explain the plot to the hit series Lost. J.J. Abrams was flown in, and at 8:42 p.m., Google Brain released its hostages and powered off. Over the weekend out of Harvard University, a press conference has revealed exactly how time works. Dr. David Tennant, the head of physics, was quoted saying, "People assume that time is a strict progression of cause to effect. But actually, from a non-linear, non-subjective point of view, it's more like a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff." This has been Matthew Taylor of CopBlock Radio News.
And we're back.
Yeah.
That news was very newsworthy. Donald Trump, I didn't realize he had such a drinking problem.
Yeah, presidential bender, they're calling it. Apparently he got pissed drunk, stumbled into a Popeye's chicken, stole their mascot costume, and went stumbling around Manhattan.
That's pretty funny.
You know what, though? I bet you it'll boost his ratings.
Probably.
People in the South will be like, yeah, drink too. I've got some stories.
So what do we got coming up next?
That is a grand old question. You know what's even better is when I was doing that whole recording everything. You know what I didn't even realize?
What's that?
I'm wearing a shirt that has my entire last gag on it. I mean, word for word, basically has the last gag on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, missed that. Let's see. Alton Sterling results. That looks like where we were at right now.
You know anything about that? I'm trying to open up the story. I wasn't. I got distracted.
Yeah, I did too. You made the show. You know what? This is what always happens to us. We make the show. We're like, yeah, we're gonna do that, and then life happens, and we don't look at the stories 100%, and then we're stuck here.
I got distracted halfway through that. Halfway through the news, Ian jumped on my headset, and I realized I wasn't broadcasting.
Yeah, I heard him.
Oh, you heard Ian?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I think that really wasn't broadcasting. Oh well. But so what do we had the.
We have Alton Sterling, the death of Alton Sterling. Now, this is something that came out.
This was something big that I had added to the corruption and cover-up story.
Absolutely, and this comes out of KLSA News. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Louisiana has issued a federal court order keeping the Alton Sterling autopsy report sealed, preventing it from being released to the public. In response from a request from WAFB about the order, the East Baton Rouge Parish Coroner's Office said, "We have been issued a second federal court order prohibiting the release of the first court order as well." So not only did they hide, or are they suppressing the information of the actual video or the autopsy? But then they're also they're also suppressing the actual court order that they used to do it. That's insane.
This is new. This is like a new method for them. They've tried numerous methods to allow them to do what they want and have the public react to them in a positive way regardless.
They think they're slick.
Yeah, lately it's not working, obviously. The country is exploding. Everyone is pissed off. People want to see cops prosecuted. So now their new trick, their newest rabbit out of the hat is going to be, we're not talking anymore. Ha ha. We're not telling you guys nothing.
Well, listen to this, all right? The coroner's
all silent, and then who's there to be mad at? Like, how's this going to work out?
Just listen to this because it gets worse, okay? The coroner's office reported that Sterling died from multiple gunshot wounds to the back and the chest. However, authorities will not allow the release of additional information, including a toxicology report. Now, I don't know about you, but I've had incidences where they don't want to release a toxicology report to me, and the whole reason why they don't want to release it is because all it shows is that I was a sober individual, and that destroys their whole rhetoric. You know, they can't paint you in a certain light if you can sit there and somebody can say this man was sober. There was nothing wrong with him. He wasn't on anything. You did this to a sober human being. And I think that's what's going on right here. They want to suppress that information because their whole rhetoric was, you know, he was crazed. He was out. They said he was on drugs. They said, you know, that type of bullshit. And if it comes back and shows that his toxicology is clean, well, that destroys their whole rhetoric. Now they have absolutely no ground to stand on for why this man's dead.
How do you think this is going to work for him, Matt?
Well, I mean, no matter what, eventually this shit's got to come out.
Not this case. No, it doesn't. That's the thing.
Oh, no. Here's the thing, though. The second, and I mean the second that this case is closed.
We've seen them wait 2 years to release body cam footage. 2 years after.
Absolutely, but they're trying to cover up so damn hard here that they're going to submit. They're going to push this to the side. They're going to let these officers go. And then afterwards, is when that information becomes available because they can't go after them again.
How is this going to work for them as far as, is the public going to snap like they've been snapping? Is it going to work, or is it going to pacify the public that we can't get any answers, so it just forces us to just kind of take our ball and go home? Like, how is it going to work?
Here's the thing, okay? From their mindset, they think they're doing the right thing. They think that they're trying to suppress the information so they can, you know, control the entire way that this situation is going. And all it's doing is waking more and more people up to the fact that they live in a police state. People's eyes are opening. They're seeing the fact that this stuff is going on in their backyards. They're seeing that it's going on in their daily television when they watch the news. They're seeing the fact that the police that they thought that they should grow up as they grew up, they thought that they should idolize. They're now seeing the fact that they are not what they were made out to be. And so the more that this information gets suppressed and the less accountability that happens, and I know, and this is just accountability in general, but the less that it happens, it's waking more people up to the fact that there is a problem that existed. The whole fact that this existed beforehand went off of the fact that so many people believe that the cops were really doing a good out there. They were all good, that there was never any bad. And the fact that, you know, you've got things like social media really digging into, you know, the fact that this is going on has put so much information out there into the mainstream media that it has forced so many people who would have never looked twice at a situation like this to really look at it and grasp the world that they live in. And the more that police and the more that cities and the more that the government tries to hide that this stuff is going on, the more people that are going to wake up. And the more people that wake up are the more people who are going to sit outside of your mansions and protest. The more people that are going to stop and stand on your interstates because they're tired of being lied to, and they're tired of the corrupt government thinking that we don't know what's going on.
Well, I think this guy definitely, the U.S. attorney for the Middle District of Louisiana, gets a wholehearted
douchebag of the week. Wholehearted douchebag.
Absolutely.
The biggest douchebag. You have no soul. You don't even work for the police union. You're doing this for just to be one of the thin blue line gang. Well, we're cutting to a commercial break. I'm disgusted. I don't know about you, Matt.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back with more Cop Block Radio after this.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Ovaltine. Give your kids the nutrition they need to be their best. Visit us at ovaltineusa.com. Telling your child about healthy food choices is important, but showing her what to eat goes a lot further. Have her help create the grocery list, then bring her to the store with you. Picking out healthy foods together helps kids get in the habit of thinking about what they're eating every day. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Are you a sneezer? If you're not, can you get close to one? I don't literally mean someone sneezing. Sneezer, as defined by marketing guru Seth Godin, is an opinion leader. When a sneezer mentions something, other people catch what Godin calls the idea virus. Seth Godin says some people are more likely to tell their friends about a great new idea. So identifying and courting sneezers is a key success factor for idea merchants. His book, Unleashing the Idea Virus, is the most downloaded ebook in history, and you can download the whole book free. That's how he's making his idea contagious. Click tips, tricks, and other stuff to help you cut through the clutter at www.survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook. Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Are you a political activist who does things that the government might not like? Then this free ebook may save your life. Rats is your guide to protecting yourself against snitches, informers, informants, agents provocateur, narcs, finks, and similar vermin. Rats was written by OG libertarian Claire Wolfe. Rats is a short book, easy to read, and available free in many formats. Download Rats free at rats-nosnitch.com. That's rats-nosnitch.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Rob Mathias, host of the Rebel Love Show.
And I'm his and your Rebel Mistress. We're the sexiest podcast coming straight out of Manchester, New Hampshire.
Not as sexy as you, my Rebel Mistress.
Oh.
Oh, maybe not.
Topics include sex,
drugs,
anarchy, and the police. We are your premier polyamory, hippie stoner, and all-around fun podcast.
We broadcast every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on LRN.FM and RebelLoveShow.com.
Want some extra fun? Check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher. And join the Rebel Love crew by liking our Facebook page at The Rebel Love Show.
We're just trying to spread the love
of the liberated world.
Peace.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
And we're back. I love that Rebel Love commercial.
Oh yeah.
I had the pleasure of meeting them.
Oh yeah, when you were up in Keene.
Yeah, they actually live in Manchester, but we took
Okay.
up there to meet Pete, and we had the pleasure of meeting the Rebel Love Show hosts, and got to see their studio, hung out, we smoked a bowl. It was good peoples.
That's cool.
Yeah. So tonight's show, once again, is brought to you by blowitup.com. Go to blowitup.com for all your needs to blow stuff up.
Hi, I'm Sam from blowitup.com. Are you a member of a small law enforcement department? Do you feel jealous, inferior, and sometimes angry when your neighboring town gets a Bearcat or a grenade launcher? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's time to level the playing field with the dick measuring contest. Recent federal government regulations have allowed for federal tax dollars to buy even your small department as much military gear as you guys can handle carrying. No need for training, low crime rate, or anything like that to hold you back. Here at blowitup.com, our motto is when it comes to officer safety, it's best to blow something up rather than question it. We have an array of blast range packages from He's Coming Right For Us to shock and awe. Get on over to blowitup.com and feel safe again. Hi.
Hi.
I feel safer already. Hi.
Oh yeah. Hi.
Don't you feel safer knowing that the cops have things like Bearcats and missile launchers and drones that can blow up gunmen?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's working so well everywhere.
I feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Mm-hmm.
So let's have some more fun.
You want to talk about some silly stuff?
I want to talk about the newest group of police supporters.
Yeah, let's talk about some silly stuff. What do they call themselves?
It's real. They're called the Blue Crew.
The Blue Crew.
And it's a campaign to support law enforcement, but this one is unique.
Yeah, let's play their video that ABC 10 out of there. They decided to do a whole story on the Blue Crew. Severin.
I didn't realize that there was even a video.
Yeah, it's midway down the article there. There's
I think what we're gonna have is some commercial. I hope not.
Trying to show support for those who risk.
Nope.
Let me. I could play that.
Okay.
But
no, you're gonna want to play this. There's a reason why.
Is it something you're gonna want to watch too, or is it just audio?
No, you could do audio. Just go audio.
All right, I'll play.
Win for our safety and security.
Around the corner, on a tree, or a lamppost. It's a little reminder to the men and women in blue.
Feel safe with them around, and we want them to also feel safe that we have their back.
The people behind the blue ribbons, a group of community members calling themselves the Blue Crew. This week, the crew spread out across neighborhoods in Folsom, tying bows of support. On Saturday, the blue ribbons also moved into El Dorado Hills. Derek Puneo understands a job in law enforcement can be dangerous.
These people put their lives on the line, something as monumental as, risking their lives to ensure our future is huge.
Especially now more than ever.
I think that they deserve a whole lot more appreciation than what they're getting.
Just this week, a police officer in San Diego was shot and killed in the line of duty, becoming the 34th officer across the country to be killed in a shooting this year.
Police departments all over across the nation aren't alone. We need to come together as a community across the nation. Unfortunately, right now we're divided.
And it's not just the men in blue. With wildfire season raging on in California, the Blue Crew is now adding a little red to show firefighters a little love too.
It's amazing to see all these people come together.
I can't take it anymore. Cut this shit off.
So ABC 10 News.
Okay, so
yeah, but they didn't mention the best part about the group.
Oh yeah. So they talk about Derek Puneo, right? Do you want to tell them about him outside of being in the Blue Crew?
Yeah, his picture has a big giant Nazi symbol and an SS symbol on his chest.
He's got he's a
neo-Nazi white supremacy group.
Listen to this, all right? This guy is a walking disaster of a person. Okay, recently, like right after the fluff piece, some of the stuff started coming out about him. Like, he's an active neo-Nazi responsible for a stabbing during one of the most recent showdowns between white supremacists and anti-fascists at the Capitol, or at the California State Capitol. Remember that video where 8 people got stabbed?
Yes, I do.
He was one of them, okay? Derek was eventually escorted away from the Capitol by police, who then determined the stabbing was in self-defense. Now, it goes on, though, right? You know, his girlfriend's out there in the heat. You know, she's interviewed and she's saying she's a part of the Blue Crew, and she's doing the stuff up in El Dorado Hills. But, you know, Derek's not out there putting these blue ribbons up on trees and telephone poles. He's out doing some really nefarious shit, you know. There is an account from 2010 where 2 of his friends actually were arrested for kidnapping a person who had called in and actually filed a rape report against him. And the actual court documents show that she was prosecuting all the way up until she just stopped when the other 2 went to jail. Now, and it just keeps going and going. There is more and more that gets added to this. And the fact that they just decided to take the actions of this neo-Nazi who's just like, yeah, they got me off on the fact that I stabbed some people. And those aren't the words he would have used, but that he stabbed some people. And, he's in support of the fact that they got him off. And the news and the police department are looking right over the fact that this dude is just a walking piece of shit.
So why did that whole news report happen without mentioning that this guy's pictures hanging up the Blue Crew, like even hanging with these people and hanging up these ribbons? He has his shirt off and he has a giant Nazi symbol on his chest. Isn't this noteworthy at all?
Yeah, I mean, isn't it noteworthy of the fact that there's no way in hell that they couldn't have put 2 and 2 together to be like, wait, wasn't this dude out there protesting African Americans and stabbed people? Like, you don't sit there and go, well, he's doing something that might show support for police, but he's kind of a piece of shit. So maybe we should just skip this one. Let's let this fluff piece go. Like, if news is so damn slow in your area that you decide that you have to run a fluff piece on a racist neo-Nazi piece of shit that is out there supporting police like this, maybe you should be looking in another direction. And you know what? If you want to keep looking at this direction, instead of just focusing on the fact of what this dude's out there doing, maybe focus on the fact that the police department hasn't come out and been like, you know what? Nah, dude, you can just take your whole thing and just rub it on your chest and just go away. Like, don't. No,
instead they write a fluff piece about it. Like,
right?
It.
It's insane. It's insane to me. Like, how did...
Here's the biggest question. Why is a neo-Nazi supporting the police? What are we not knowing?
What do you mean, what are we not knowing?
I don't fall into the race baiting bullshit argument, but come on now. There's something going on right here.
Well, I mean...
Nuts. Well, we're going to be right back with more CopBlock Radio after this commercial break. All right, we have 2 blank segments because I doubled up a story accidentally, and I don't know how that happened, but yeah, that. So we are going to use the fillers.
Yeah,
we'll use the filler, and if we need to, we'll talk about your story and a couple of our police encounters toward the end to fill it in. We'll make it happen. When we come back, we'll go. We'll do the whack-a-mole story.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be trying to find something. This seems like a far more fucking relevant story. All right, I've got the next segment. Just react to it.
Which one? You're gonna do the golf cart?
No, I've got the next story. Just let me roll with it.
Is it in the notes?
No, I'm gonna add it right now.
All right, just put it under 1133. I'll move what's there now.
Yeah.
All right. I'll put the other story. I'll put the other story in that segment too, because I think we can kill two in one.
Yeah, I think this one might keep.
If we don't, I'll pull it out.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep it accurate so I don't have to go back and change it later for the show notes.
We come back at 33.
So please visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. That's fund.lrn.fm.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
FoodForLiberty.com sells high-quality, storable foods from Humana. And right now, take advantage of our summer special. Purchase 2 family packs and we'll send you a Pro Pure Water pitcher, a $70 value, free. This premium pitcher is ideal for use with just about any water source and removes more contaminants than other brands. And it comes with a filter that lasts up to 2 full years. Whether you need to be prepared in the event of an emergency or an outdoor sports enthusiast, Humana is known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, super nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. And with a 25-year shelf life, you can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. Go to foodforliberty.com right now for great-tasting, high-quality, storable foods from Humana. Buy 2 family packs and get the Pro Pure Water pitcher free. It makes good sense to be prepared. Get it at foodforliberty.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute.
Meow. It's CopBlock Radio. We have a call-in line. Call it. 413-418-COPS. 413-418-2677. Tell us what you think about cops, about your encounters with them, and how we can possibly deal with them.
So when we went on break, we were kind of debating on what we were going to talk about next, and I decided to take a trip on over to copblock.org, like you guys should whenever you're bored. Whenever you're bored out there and you don't know what to do, why don't you just go on over and just head to copblock.org. Take a look at the content that's over there. You will never be disappointed, just like I just did. So I go over here and I find a nice little story that is written by Stephen Thomas, and it says, breaking story, DC police officer charged with aiding ISIS. What? So let's jump into that, okay?
Now, let's just clarify before we even jump into this. This is not an onion.
Satire.
This is not satire. Okay.
Nope. Okay, a Washington, D.C. Metro Transit Authority police officer was charged on Wednesday with trying to provide materials to support ISIS. This is the first time any law enforcement officer in the United States has been charged with an ISIS-related crime. Nicholas Young, who was 36 years old, who had served with the department since 2003, was arrested Wednesday morning by the FBI. Young allegedly sent mobile-based gift card IDs to a law enforcement source last week with the understanding that the cards would be used by overseas ISIS fighters to communicate. According to a copy... Yeah, dude, like he knew what the fuck he was doing.
Why would he do this?
Dude, It grows deeper. It grows deeper.
Like an ISIS. He's a cop that's really seriously an ISIS supporter.
Straight up, dude, it gets deeper. So according to a copy of the indictment, Young was focused on activity abroad, not in the D.C. area. He told law enforcement that at one point he had traveled to Libya twice in 2011 to fight against Gaddafi. He gave a person working with law enforcement advice on how to travel to Syria, and believing that the person had actually made it abroad, Young then allegedly complied with a request and purchased gift cards for mobile messaging accounts used by the Islamic State recruiting office. The codes were then redeemed by the FBI. Now, here's the fucking kicker, right? He was arrested at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Young had been monitored by the FBI since September of 2010.
So they just like let this dude operate with a badge this whole time. Is he like a Muslim? Like, did they use the M word?
No.
So why is he? I'm confused. Like, I guess they haven't done the full investigation on like what his ties are with these people. Like, why would he be doing?
How could they not? They waited 6 years.
Yeah,
How could they not? They infiltrated every part of that to make sure that he thought that he was doing it. But here's the kicker, all right? Now, is this one of those times where the FBI cooked up their own terrorist plot and got some people involved? Because they've been caught doing this before. The FBI have foiled their own terrorist plots. So I'm not, once again, this isn't the Onion. I'm not making this crap up. So is this one of those moments where this actually happened, or was this a moment where, somebody got caught up in some crap? But anyways, I want to read you something that was sent to the Metro Transit Police Authority by the FBI. All right. It says, "Dear Chair Evans and board members, I want to advise you of charges that will be unsealed in U.S. District Court today against a Metro police officer who is accused of attempting to provide material to support foreign terrorist organizations. The officer was arrested without incident this morning by FBI and MTD-PD. And is expected to make his first court appearance this afternoon. His employment with WMATA has been terminated effective immediately. The FBI investigation leading to today's charges was initiated by MTPD and has been ongoing for several years. I was briefed on a case prior to my arrival at the Metro and can assure you that there was no evidence of any threat to the Metro system, its customers, or employees. However, the allegations in this case are profoundly disturbing and involve, among other things, transmitting funds to ISIL through electronic gift cards. In response to media inquiries, the only response we will be providing are the two statements below." It says, "Since I received my first briefing on this matter, Chief Pavlik and I have worked hand in glove with the FBI in interest to public safety to ensure that the individual would be brought to justice. Metro Police alerted the FBI about this individual and then worked with our federal partners throughout the investigation up to including today's arrest. Obviously, allegations in this case are profoundly disturbing. They are disturbing to me, and they are disturbing to everyone who wears the uniform." Now, that is the letter. So basically, they turned around, they picked this guy up, alerted everybody that the dude had been terminated, and was like, "This is your official statement."
Huh.
Like, that's crazy. All right. Like that.
Now here's my next question. Okay, so he's been arrested. He's in jail right now as a terrorist, right?
They said his first court hearing was today.
Okay, so does the blue line badge crew matter? Like, is he going to get off for being a terrorist because he's a cop?
No.
Or is terrorist
No.
at the cross? Is terrorist is aiding ISIS that line that finally is like, okay, this cop we got to do something with?
Yeah,
I'm curious. What do you think, Matt?
I don't know. So I'm looking into this right now.
In that courtroom.
Yeah, I'm looking a little bit more into this now because it looks like the Washington Times picked this up. I mean, it starts off with them just a picture of the FBI just dragging shit out of his house.
Wow.
So yeah, so obviously they're going.
How does a cop, like, how does he get past all this training, or not the training, the evaluations that supposedly happen, and like, how does he keep the badge for how many years? Since 2010, you said?
Yeah, and he was there for since 2003, so they knew about it, for the last 6 years. That's crazy. And here's the thing, okay? What really caused them to jump down his throat and arrest him now was the fact that last month he sent $245 worth of gift card from mobile messaging accounts to the guy that it was his contact. So
what did he do before that? I'm curious. Like, why mobile gift cards was what was the crackdown? Like, what did he do before that, leading up to this? Like, what is his relationship? I want to know these things. This guy worked as a cop for how long? Like, this guy could have done some serious damage. Are they just like sugarcoating this by releasing the phone card story? Like, well, I don't know. It doesn't seem like, it doesn't add up to me that they would use phone cards to be the reason after 10 years of investigating him.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's obviously been on a watch list the entire time, since 2010, because in 2011 is when he traveled over to fight against Gaddafi. So it was in 2010 he started inquiring about how to get over over there, and once he started inquiring, he was picked up on the radar, and they started monitoring him. He went over there. That was basically toppling Gaddafi is exactly what the United States wanted. So when Gaddafi got toppled, nobody batted an eye. They let it go down, and he came home. They kept an eye on him, but then the second he got caught up doing this, well, that was instantaneous. Like, nope, shut that shit down. They're not working for us. So, but here's the thing, though. It also makes me wonder, like, okay, could this have been two different things? Like, did he have military background beforehand? Was he over there as like, doing mercenary work? Because, dude, our government hires mercenaries like what? So anyways, on top of that, we have all, I'm not even joking to you, we have all had contact with the ability to be caught up doing the same thing. Have you ever, just got a ring on your cell phone and somebody's sitting there and they're like, you have been approved for a loan of $10,000, but all you got to do is go get a green pack money card and send me the authorization code, and your money will be deposited.
Right back with more of this. Sorry, we were at the last second.
My bad.
That's cool. Last segment.
Killing this one. Do you want me to go story hunt again?
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
I am going to do.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement, and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website, fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper, FPP News, at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1, let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. You likely buy all kinds of things online. Amazon is the largest online retailer. You can get what you need at the same great prices, and LRN gets a cut. Please do your online shopping at shop.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless free market non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's the final countdown. That was totally unplanned, but it worked.
Yes, it was.
It's CopBlock Radio, guys. I'm Severin Freeman.
This is Matthew Taylor.
And we have some fun stories for you. Hey, Matt, how'd you like that game Whack-A-Mole?
Oh, man, I was just going over this. This is hilarious. It's straight out of Caddyshack, dude.
Yeah, straight out of Caddyshack. It's not satire. Yeah, like to the guys that listen to this, the podcast listeners and all that, I know we have funny commercials. I know we like to play around on our commercials. We try to have some fun with the show because it is serious topics. But the stories that we're bringing to you, these are not satire. This is some legit stories. There really was an ISIS cop. And now there really is a cop that wants to relive the scene from Caddyshack where he chases the groundhog with a golf cart. And it really happened. Witnesses say cop used a golf cart to chase and kill a groundhog is the title of the story. In Troy, New York, authorities say they're investigating reports that 2 police officers used a golf cart to purposely run down and kill a groundhog during a tournament hosted by an upstate New York Police Department union. So it was like one of the upscale cops, right?
Yeah, right.
Officials in Troy said Monday that witnesses reported seeing the cart drive over tee boxes and onto greens at the city-owned Friar Park golf course on Friday afternoon. City Council President Caramello Montello says officials have been told 2 men used the golf carts to hunt down the animal and run it over near one of the course's holes. The incident,
oh my God.
The incident occurred while the police union for the department in the nearby city of Rossendler was hosting a tournament. More than 80 people participated, not all of them police officers. Officials in both cities say they're investigating the incident.
I swear to God, this has got to be one of the most redneck stories I have ever reported with you on this show. Now, I don't say redneck. I don't say redneck in an offensive way. I mean, dude, I do some redneck shit. Like, I spent my childhood blowing stuff up. Like,
we've joked on this show that cops are nothing but a bunch of bros.
Yeah.
Like, bro, we got something, we got to blow it up. We got something, we got a Bearcat, we got to pull it out. Like, bro. Like, this is a total bro moment. They're sitting around, they probably had a few drinks, and they decided they're going to hunt down and kill a groundhog.
Yeah, they probably went to go into his backswing and saw his, like, bro, that groundhog, he just screwed up my backswing. We got to get him. Let's get him so he can't do it to anybody else. Like, we're protecting this tournament.
I'm surprised the story doesn't involve them pulling their guns and unloading a ton of bullets at this thing. But no, instead they chased it around the entire golf course until they ran it down.
These two are probably like the freaking like double team John Farvas of their department. Like, they're both on radio and they were just told, you know what, like, you're not allowed to drink. Don't bring your guns. And they drank anyways and got into their shenanigans. Only this isn't a funny cop movie. This is real life, and y'all are a bunch of assholes.
Do you need your assistance? This is Unit 21. Unit 21. Do you need assistance? No, Farva. Best portrayal of police ever recorded, I think. No CopBlockers. No CopBlockers ever been able to do it like Super Troopers did it.
They did it perfectly.
Well,
so yeah,
at least they had a good time.
Story there.
I didn't catch if they were suspended or not. They're probably got a written reprimand. Like, hey guys, don't chase them with golf carts. Next time, shoot it. Like that probably broke procedure by not shooting it. But hey, it's been a fun show. We're ending on a good note, guys. I mean, we had some bad stories, had them getting away with a lot of things, covering up a lot of things, but the golf cart story is kind of funny, and the final story for the night is
a win.
Is a win. Breaking out of the NYPD itself. Commissioner Bill Bratton announces his resignation from the police department. Commissioner Bill Bratton has announced that he will be stepping down from the New York Police Department as of next month. In recent months, the NYPD faced intense scrutiny as the result of a citywide scandal involving bribes and preferential treatment of both politicians, including the mayor, Bill de Blasio, and numerous high-ranking NYPD officers. Rather than be held accountable for their part in the scandal, many of those quietly in the NYPD have instead been allowed to quietly retire, retaining their benefits and pensions. As of a couple months ago, Bratton had made statements to the effect that he would be leaving as commissioner. This sudden and unexpected announcement raises questions about whether even Commissioner Bratton himself may be implicated in the ongoing systematic misconduct in the NYPD. He's being hailed as being the most influential commissioner in history and someone reshaping policing largely due to the infamous broken windows model of policing. However, that policy's emphasis on harassing people for petty small-time crimes, along with the racist and arbitrary stop-and-frisk practice of profiling citizens, has also led to much criticism toward the NYPD and Bratton himself. So this guy, this is a huge win. This is the guy that did the stop and frisk program. That's a huge violation. I mean, ACLU was all over this. The citizens were screaming. They just literally are allowed to just jump out of their car and stop and start patting people down.
Well, just as bad as stop and frisk was, so was the whole broken window policing just in general. Because that's what happened to Eric Garner.
I'm unfamiliar with what broken window policing is even referring
to. Basically what broken window refers to is the fact of it's a small crime, but it's a crime, and the smaller crimes lead to bigger crimes. So start with the small crimes and work your way to it. So broken window is basically it's a small crime. What crime is this going to lead me to? And that's where it's hand in hand with stop and frisk, because broken window makes you want to look at the small things, and then stop and frisk is you just search everybody. And so with these two policies hand in hand going together, things like Eric Garner, who was just selling a loose cigarette on the side of the road, ends up dead because they have to turn around and police things to the max. Because as I would like to quote Scott Marshall, the Oath Accountability Project, which happy birthday to you today, buddy. I want to quote him when he says, "Every law should end with, or we will fucking kill you." Because it's true. You can stand there on the side of the road and sell a loose cigarette, and they will tell you no. And if you resist them, look at Eric Garner, you die. So At the same time as yay, he's stepping down, it's also just, another window for another douchebag to step in and do another horrible job where more people are going to die because of their horrible, horrible decisions. So whoever gets this job, congratulations, you just screwed your life for the rest of it. So, thumbs up to you right there, buddy. Hope you don't screw the pooch just as much as he did, because look what he had to do. He had to step down like that because he's going to get indicted.
I want to give a shout out to our mutual buddy Rick. He's actually headed up to that part of the country this weekend, and he's going to actually go around and maybe try to speak to some cops and interview them while he's out there in New York. I advised against it because I think he's rolling solo. But
yes,
Rick will be Rick. He's going to do his interviews probably. He's probably going to do maybe even an audit while he's out there. Who knows what he's going to pull out. But
stay safe, buddy.
Yeah, definitely stay safe. And if you're listening,
a different monster.
Live stream, we'll be in touch. But live stream everything, and hey, it's cool. He's headed out there, and he grew up out there, so he knows firsthand the way that it is. And he's told me stories like it. The cops are just a different kind of bad out there. It's not like around here where they shine lights in your face and they act like assholes. They're dangerous bad out there. They're like a rough gang that wants to beat everybody up that tries to step to them. So I commend anybody who's in an area that's that hostile that's still filming, because there are a lot of people in the New York area that film.
Yep. But before we go off the air tonight, I want to tell everybody that they should head over to copblock.org/store. They've got everything you could ever want for your copblocking needs. They've got, your own shiny badges that, say badges don't grant extra rights. They got shirts, hats, lapel pins, flags. They've got everything your heart could desire. So head over there.
Absolutely. Go put a big order in, so Dio has a lot of work to do. He runs the store. So, what was I about to say?
What were you about to say, sir?
I don't even know.
What have you done? Anyways, guys, you should definitely.
We're coming up to the end of the show anyway, so it's a perfect time to have a brain dead moment. But make sure you get over. Oh yeah, I was gonna say make sure you get over to our SoundCloud. We have a brand new redone SoundCloud where the audio is so crisp and clear it makes your ears have a good time.
Yes, it's remastered.
Go there. Come back here next week to watch us live. Film the police every day, guys. Be safe out there.
Take it easy.
And we're out.